What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and I'm bringing a little bit of a different type of video today. Normally on my channel I'm talking about sports or video games or gaming in general or sports in general. Or, there are some times when I do have a general topics, usually still sports related. But what I wanted to talk about today is basically something that I've meant to make a video a few weeks ago. I just haven't got around to it because I'm real busy. But I wanted to talk about the death of Prodigy. I know he's passed away almost a month ago. Actually, tomorrow would be 1 month since his passing. So, rest in peace, Prodigy. You know, I haven't really on my channel let known as far as, what type of music I listen to. I guess it might be kind of obvious from the intro, the beats on the intro and stuff like that. I don't only listen to hip hop, I listen to all types of music, whether it be hip hop, R&B, reggae, rock and roll, or alternative, whatever it is. If it sounds good, I will listen to it. That's always been my motto. I just like good music, period. So, when I found out that he passed away, it really, really resonated with me because when I really got serious as far as getting into music and getting into hip hop, it was around the time that I would say the first music album that I really got into listening and bought for myself and enjoyed from start to finish was actually Nas Illmatic. And just from listening to his album, it just got me just more just loving hip hop and just loving the music in general. And just from there, I just enjoyed the whole Queensbridge theme. Now, I was watching an interview from Vlad TV, and I just want to go on a little sidebar here. I saw a lot of comments in the comment section for Vlad TV, calling him a culture vulture and making fun of him and all sorts of stuff and saying, he's stealing the culture, doesn't really care about it, blah, blah, blah. And, don't get me wrong, there are some times where I've seen instances where his judgment on certain things is questionable, but I think the guy really does at least enjoy the culture. He's not just in there to get the money, not from what I can imagine. I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion. But it just bothered me that so many people are complaining about him giving the interview and what I'm talking about is he interviewed Havoc for a good whole hour. Now, first of all, he didn't cut it up into 50 million pieces like he usually does and throw ads on it. It was the full interview from the jump. And I don't know if he's had any other interviews since Prodigy has passed away, but it was the first one that I saw of that length. I'm not talking about no TMZ talking to him for a minute or something like that. I'm talking about full-fledged interview from start to finish that's over, 2 minutes. So for him to choose to go on Vlad TV to give an interview means that he at least respected Vlad in that instance, to use his platform to share how he felt and just share the story of Mobb Deep. So people need to stop complaining about that and just enjoy the interview, enjoy the information that was given from the interview. So anyways, back to what I was originally talking about. I just loved the whole thing about Queensbridge, just the whole theme of that. And from Nas sprung Mobb Deep. From Mobb Deep, and just the whole Queensbridge thing. Mobb Deep sprung infamous Mob, sorry, and also Capone and Noriega, and then from Capone and Noriega you had, I mean, not really from them, but because he was out before, but people like Tragedy Gaddafi, or you got people like from Nas, heard people like Nature and Cormega. It's just the whole Queensbridge thing. Just was just something just the whole rap aura of that whole area was just something that I just thoroughly enjoyed. And it hurt me to find out that he passed away. I was a huge fan of Mobb Deep, huge fan of Prodigy in particular. I always thought he was the better, at least starting out anyways, the better rhyming half of the duo. This is just my opinion, but I felt after the third album, his rhyme flow started to change, and you could see the transition. I remember when HNIC came out, I was like, something's different. Now, people are saying that it happened after that album, but to me, I noticed a difference on his first solo album. His flow was not as fluent as it was before. It was more disjointed. It wasn't necessarily slowed down like it is, like it was before its passing. But he didn't flow all the way through. And over time I still listen to their music, but it just wasn't the same to me. Surprisingly, one of the best albums that they ever dropped was that first one on G Unit. I think it's called Blood Money. I actually enjoyed that album, even though it was on G Unit, for what that's worth. But yeah, I mean, such a talented guy. I know that one of the things that he really got into was speaking about secret societies and Illuminati and government and all sorts of stuff like that. And now there's conspiracy theories about why he passed away. I've watched at least 10, 15 videos talking about how they figured out why he died. Some video where they showed his last picture that he took, and they made him stand where there's an R and an I behind him, and he's standing blocking whatever the rest was, so it says R, I, and then P. I mean, I don't know. I can't make fun of it because it could be true. I don't know, but it's just a huge loss. And it's just one of those things that I remember, for me anyways, Shook One's Part 2, P's verse, the first verse, was the first verse that I could actually rhyme all the way through flawlessly without, messing up words or missing a word. Because, there's always songs where you can, as far as I'm concerned anyways, where I know most of the words, but I might miss a word here and there. Like I remember used to rap to Nas's "It Ain't Hard to Tell," or there's other songs out there that I knew, like a lot of the Wu-Tang songs I knew, but it was always like I might miss a word here or there. But Shook One's Part 2, P's verse, was, and it's funny. I was just the other day it just popped in my mind, and I started flowing to it, and just made me reminisce. And I'll probably make another video not about this, but just my feelings on music in general, and how I feel that music now is just not the same as it used to be. I know people say that over the course of time, things transition, and it could be because I'm becoming obsolete, quote unquote, because I'm now getting to that age, and I'm dating myself by saying that, I love, you know, Mobb Deep's first album. Well, it's not even their first album, it's actually their second album, because the album was Juvenile Hell, which didn't do all that great. Only one song that I really liked on it was Pure Pressure, produced by DJ Premier. But, you know, I understand that as time goes, that things evolve, music changes, and I guess I'm not getting with the times, but I'm sorry, the quality of music, the lyricism music, all that stuff is different. But I'm going to leave that for another video, another topic. Anyways, I just wanted to, like I said, share my thoughts on, the passing of Prodigy. Really, 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 it was real sad news. Like I said, he's one of my top 10 rappers, in my opinion anyways, of all time. You know, even a guy like Jay-Z actually, even shouted him out and said that, one time he was one of the top rappers. I guess he's kind of saying that, giving his opinion that he fell off kind of thing. And, but that's up for debate. But, it's funny that most people don't respect or appreciate, musical talent until they pass away. And I'm seeing a lot of, rest in peace Prodigy stuff, and I don't know whether or not that's people are legitimately, hurt by him passing away, or if it's just jumping on the bandwagon. One thing I will say that I did notice is that his mark on hip-hop seemed a lot bigger than I initially thought. Because I always saw Mobb Deep as being more underground. Now, I can't really... I guess it's because of their lyrical content being, quote-unquote, gangster East Coast rap, saying, profile and pose, rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone, stuff like that is not something that's going to be played on MTV. I get that. But, to me, they seem not mainstream, more underground, but still, you can't really say that they're underground because they did still play on BET and all that, so it's not like nobody knew who they were. I was just surprised to see so many different people out there saying rest in peace, like people that I wouldn't even expect it, like Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj and all of them. Not people that I would have expected to even, said anything. I know also, I think Drake said something, but, I've seen where, pictures of them hanging out and stuff like that. So obviously, I mean, I'm not saying that they were boys, but, they knew each other and stuff like that. But just the outpour that I saw for him passing away was much more than I would have expected. I would have just thought, because I didn't, like, for example, when Phife Dawg passed away, there were some people that said rest in peace Phife Dawg. You had videos about that, but it's nothing like I've seen for Prodigy passing away. Nothing even close to it. I didn't see all the celebrities and all that, and the big funeral, and people like Farrakhan showing up. I just didn't see it. and that was just completely surprising to me. So it just goes to show you how much of an impact he had on the culture of hip hop. I mean, him and just Mobb Deep in general. So I thought that was very interesting. I thought it was real cool. And just seeing the murals go up, the ones that aren't getting defaced by those idiots in Queensbridge, by the way. It's just real cool just to see how many people he touched and influenced. So anyways, that's it for the video. I've been going on for, looks like, at least 15 minutes now. I didn't even think I was going to get to 5 minutes. But I could just go on and on and on talking about, like I said, talking about Prodigy and talking about Mobb Deep and the role that they had. It just influenced my life completely. I remember for my gaming tag is, I mean, it's not dealing with Mobb Deep, but it's, my old gamer tag for PlayStation was Escobar 972, which is for actually Nas Escobar, and the 972G was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a lyric from, which song was it? It was, I think anyways, don't quote me on this, but I thought it was a song that he did actually with Mobb Deep, and he said that line in there, and I just took it and ran with it. But when I went to do this, long story short, I did it for something else, but I couldn't put the G in there, so I just left it 972, and that just stuck with me. When I do my year-round fantasy football league, my name for the league is always the infamous ... So, huge influence on my life. Like I said, real sad that he passed away. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Peace.